once said, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back, because her passion burned brighter than her fears. I would like to share with you someone that has had a huge impact on my life, and that is my grandmother, Mary Frances White. My grandmother is a self-sacrificing, persevering, and hard-working woman who is a lot to my family. It is because of her influence on my life that I always try to remain faithful and hold my family close. My first point was that my grandmother was self-sacrificing, and it is very clear even if you do not know her that well. Every time we have family gatherings, she always makes sure that her family goes first in line to get the food that she cooked all by herself, because she didn't want anyone else to feel obligated to bring something. I remember one evening in particular when my aunt said, "Mom, you didn't open any of your gifts?" Her response was that she wanted to make sure everyone was filled with joy, full from supper, and they got everything they wished for. So as we have seen, my grandmother was clearly a self-sacrificing woman. Now that we have finished talking about my first point, let's move on to the second. My next point was that she was one of the most hardworking women I know. My grandparents decided that they wanted to open up their own restaurant, so they did. They soon realized that having their own ice cream parlor, mobile home park, and skating rink, and now a restaurant was very hard. Not only did they have these businesses, but they had 5 very young children at home that could not be left at home alone unless the oldest sibling was present. My grandma decided that they would do this because they needed the money to raise these children. She woke up at 4 a.m., 7 days a week, and did this until she retired. She still works at the restaurant till this day by helping checking the waitresses' tickets and catering. So as we have seen, my grandmother is truly a hard-working woman. My last main point is that she is a persevering person. My grandmother married a guy at a young age and then later had children with him. One day she received a horrible phone call saying that he had passed away in a motorcycle accident. She was devastated because not only was her husband gone, but so was the father to her children. She got really down and thought to herself that she couldn't do this. Then she prayed. She asked the Lord to give her strength because she was struggling to make ends meet. She continued to be the best mother she could and a great employee, and soon she would be a beautiful wife again. A little later, she met my grandfather, who fell in love with her and her children. She married him and had 2 other children with him, my father included. Not once in this situation did she give up on herself or her children or God. She persevered through it all and came back better and stronger than ever. Clearly, you can see that her perseverance got her through it all. Now that I've talked about that, let's move on to the conclusion. My grandmother is my hero, and I think that's why I chose to talk about her. My dream is for my children and grandchildren to look at me like I look at her. Throughout this speech, we have seen that my grandmother is a self-sacrificing, persevering, and hardworking woman. I would like to remind you that it's because of her influence on my life that I always try to hold my family close and keep strong in my faith. Mark Anthony once said, and one day she discovered that she was fierce and strong and full of fire, and that not even she could hold herself back, because her passion burned brighter than her fears. Thank you.